Hey guys, welcome back to Just a Geek in the Garage. Today I want to go over this set of ratcheting wrenches, and these specifically are going to be the double flex end ratcheting wrenches. If you guys have seen some of my videos before, this was kind of featured in one of my lockers, but I didn't take it out to go over it. And I have done videos on other ratcheting wrenches, specifically these Duratech ones that I found on Amazon. These are just single flex head, double box end, but they're ratcheting, which is nice. These ones are usually going to be the ones that I grab if I need a ratcheting wrench, just because they're kind of easily accessible to me and will typically get into whatever spot I need them to get into. However, every once in a while, if you're trying to get into a spot where even a regular flex head won't get into, that's where something like this would come in handy. I did a bunch of research before I bought these guys because I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money, because I know there's other brands that make this, but you end up spending a few $100 on a set like this, where these usually run around $100 on Amazon. Granted, it's not a brand I've ever really heard of before. It's called DISEN or DISEN. I don't know how to pronounce that. If you guys know, please leave it in the comments. But it had pretty good reviews. The price was right, and these things are always going on sale as well. And one nice thing that I liked about them is that they are a relatively no-skip set. They're definitely no skip on the metric side. It goes from 8 all the way to 19 with no skips whatsoever. On the standard side, honestly, I don't use standard that often, so I don't know what you guys consider skips, but it goes everywhere from a quarter all the way to 3/4. And all it's missing is a few of the 30 seconds sizes, so the 13, 17, 21, and 23 30 seconds. I've never really run into those fasteners. 13, 30 seconds I can understand. The other ones, I don't think I've really run into them. So again, another thing to leave in the comments if you can, guys. What do you consider no skip on the standard side? Because some of these fasteners I've never run into in my life. But do you need every 30 seconds size in order to consider it a no skip? Anyway, so on to these the wrenches themselves. So if you guys know, if you're working on a car inside of an engine bay somewhere where it's kind of a tight space, or maybe if you're kind of working around different obstacles, these things are pretty awesome. Sometimes they can save you a ton of time, where instead of having to take apart a few different things in order to get to, a nut or a bolt, you can just, kind of work these around different obstacles and just go for it. One thing that I also really like about these guys is, unlike this, where it has two different sizes on one wrench, it's 25 pieces and it's all one size. So if you're picking up, in this case, the 14 millimeter, you have a 14 millimeter open end, and then you have the 14 millimeter ratcheting end. So what that means is, usually you don't want to break a bolt, especially if it's a stubborn fastener, with a ratcheting. You don't want to break the mechanism, but you have the solid open end if you really need to. So that's one thing that I really like about these guys, is you notice these ones are a little floppy right here. You can actually tighten them, which is nice. So it's not just like a fastener that you can't tighten. So you can actually just get in there and make them as tight or as loose as you basically want for whatever job that you're working on. So if you want them to stay, or if you want to be able to have a little bit more flexibility. Again, this is 25 pieces. Ends up usually around $100 or so is what I've seen on Amazon. Definitely does fluctuate quite a bit in price, so sometimes you're going to see it for a lot cheaper. Maybe not a lot cheaper. I think the cheapest I've seen it go is, I want to say, somewhere in like the 80s, maybe mid 80s, and sometimes it'll go up to about like 110, 120. But if you guys need a set where you can get into something that even something with a flex head won't get you, I highly recommend these guys. I do not believe these come with a lifetime warranty, disclaimer. But for my purposes, I didn't necessarily need a lifetime warranty. It's just usually for stuff that isn't as high torque as something else. If I need something high torque, I'm probably going to grab a Snap-on or an Icon if I really need it. Just more to kind of make life easier when you're working in tight spaces. Tell me, what do you guys think? Have you guys ever used this brand before? Would you recommend them? If they are within the warranty period, if you've ever had to replace one of these, what was the warranty process like? And would you guys find a set of double flex end or double flexing ratcheting wrenches? I can never say that. It's always a tongue twister. Would you find something like this useful in your collection? So please let me know down below. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe.